on Politically Incorrect, live from Hollywood, from The Tonight Show, Jay Leno, Doris McMahon, he loves L.A., Randy Newman, and former Assembly Speaker Doris Allen. And now, the star of Politically Incorrect, Bill Maher!
Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. It's so nice to be here in California, our new home. And you know where Bill Clinton is? He's in England. Do you know that? He went to England. He went there for some very important reasons, to reaffirm our historical ties to England and to get support from our NATO partners, and also because he just saw on TV that Princess Di puts out. So, no, he's over there to firm up our allies for the Bosnia operation, which they are calling Operation Joint Endeavor. I guess. Very nostalgia for Clinton, because Operation Joint Endeavor is what he used to call spring break. Well, I know three Englishmen who are pretty happy these days, the Beatles, because their anthology album, have you seen this? Shot right to #1. And yes. So they're looking to repeat that success. They're trying to find another unreleased. They find one more unreleased John Lennon tape. It's called "We're Not Home Right Now. Please Leave a Message." It's. Now, are you familiar with Pat Schroeder, a stalwart Democratic congresswoman from Colorado? Yes, quitting. She is quitting after 23 years. She was there from 1972 until she says she will just not go through menopause sitting in a room next to Sonny Bono. That's... You have to give her her due. I mean, after 23 years in Congress, any woman would be exhausted, except Sally Kirkland. That's all I'm saying. Well, Ivana Trump is getting married. Have you heard about this? She was with this man. His name is Riccardo Muzzicelli. I had the Muzzicelli last night. It's very good. Now, Riccardo Muzzicelli, it will be her third marriage, but her first for her lips and breasts. This also is, there's a sort of a sad occasion. This is the first Christmas since 1950 where there will be no Bob Hope special. No, Bob is fine. It's Brooke Shields who's getting too old. That's what they say. And finally, I want you to watch out. Now, they talk about the earthquakes here in California, but there's a new danger. Have you heard about this? A Chinese satellite that they sent up some years ago is going to fall to Earth. They say there's only a 1 in 4 chance that it'll hit land because 3/4 of the Earth is water. But if it does hit land, there's a 1 in 2 chance it will hit Carney Wilson. So, anyway, thank you for coming. It's all been satirized for your protection. Thank you. Welcome to the show, and let's meet our panel. First, he is a talented singer and songwriter who's just released his version of Faust and the soundtrack to Toy Story, Randy Newman. Hey, man.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much. All right, she was the first woman Speaker of the California Assembly. Doris Allen is right here. Hey, Doris, thank you for being here. It's all right. We'll meet later.
For a hand.
Yeah, well, we all do. All right, you know him from The Tonight Show and stars. Well, you just know him, a true show business legend, Mr. Ed McMahon. Hey! Hey, thank you for being here. It's so good to see you. Ed McMahon.
Hello.
Hi-oh. No check?
Soon. Are you still at the same address? Yeah.
All right, here's an old friend and talk about a show business legend. This guy is lately the absolute king of late-night comedy, Jay Leno. The king has come. Hello, King. All right, everybody feeling good?
We're fine. What dopey topic have we got tonight?
Yeah, what are we talking about? What is it? What are we doing?
You're not going to ask any questions, are you? I've been answering questions all day.
I am not going to ask you a question.
Okay.
I'm going to throw out a topic, and you can say whatever you want.
Okay.
Okay. The one I wanted to talk about, first off, is this law they passed yesterday about the speed limit. Now, since 1974, we've had a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. I thought it was a good thing because
A lot of people shouldn't even drive at 55 miles an hour. They should drive at 33 miles an hour.
And if you're drinking.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
It's best to
saying
be on the hood if you're drinking, you know. You'll be thrown off quicker.
anyone in particular. But I thought it was a very good idea because
Why?
because of oil, Jay. Because there's a little thing called the energy crisis, which we
Cars
seem to
now get 5 times the mileage they did in 1974.
Oh, what a bunch of
What
baloney,
car,
Jay.
Jay? What car?
Any average car.
Any of your cars, you get.
Sure.
You probably get 2 miles to an hour.
The
Come
corporate
on.
average is 26.3 miles per hour. 1974,
Right.
it was about 12.2 miles. Twice as much, I'm sorry.
Well, 2.5, Jay. What's the difference?
How about the?
But that's a
how-
classic example of don't pass a law because it'll take you the rest of your life to change it. That law was passed in 1974 as a
But
temporary
it's because
measure. And it took
people are
20 years.
buying cars the size of Faust and Toy Story.
Many of these cars have CD
I mean,
players.
the big old
I can't handle
Buicks.
this crass commercialism. I may have to leave. I mean, it's just awful. Terrible. Awful.
It's not a law, it's just a revenue enhancement. It's got
Get on
nothing
the
to do with
shopping
law.
channel.
Jay, that is ridiculous. There was an oil crisis in 1973.
Forget it. It was a long time ago. It's ancient history.
Yeah, maybe.
We're fine.
Yeah, maybe there was. No, Bill, explain to me.
that is the kind of
Explain to me how there is an oil crisis. You have this much oil in the ground. A couple of companies decide to hold everybody up for money. There's no real oil crisis. There was a phony manufactured oil crisis.
Do you really believe that oil is not a finite resource, Jay?
Not in your lifetime.
We hope so. Maybe we'll go to electric cars.
You can switch over to natural gas, of which there is a 700 or 800 supply at the current rate. Cars will switch right over to natural gas. That's no problem.
Well,
What's the next?
Bill, you can't even drive a stick. You don't know what you're talking about.
What
The
is
man
next
says to
topic
me,
at
the man
what?
says to me, I'd like to buy a Porsche. I said, can you drive a stick? No. What are you doing? You don't know what you're talking about.
How many cars do you own?
I have a lot of cars.
Well, how many?
yeah.
My wife thinks there's 17.
Well, how many is it? Is it
you own it?
35? How many?
It's around there.
35 cars he owns. He's causing the oil shortage right there.
But you can't drive them all at once. You only drive one at a time, and none of them are new. So I am recycling. It's people like you buying new cars using fresh.
Using those inefficient cars of yesteryear that burn so much oil and gas. He's the one that's causing the shortage.
Do you ever drive your Subaru?
I have a 1949 Hudson that will pass 1990 emission standards
Really?
as it sits.
Well, that's the thing,
That's
Jay.
another myth that old cars somehow pollute a lot more.
Oh, well,
Old
they-
cars that are not maintained pollute a lot more.
Even if I give you
That's right.
even if I give you that point that there's enough oil in my lifetime, which I'm not even sure that that's true. But what about standards? What about
Well,
emissions?
the
what
trouble-
about this smog we
the
live
trouble-
in, Jay?
You were asking about the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. When more than 50% of the people break a law, it ceases to be a law. Do you know how you get? Do you know how you get? You know how?
Oh, so if we all stabbed our wife to death, then that wouldn't be a law?
We've seen in Los Angeles you can get away with it.
All right, I have to
We
take
don't
a
have to
break.
stand.
We'll be back.
We'll
We'll get back to you, Jay.
Let me
Be
finish
quiet.
it.
We're taking a break.
We all don't have to. Only one of us has to stab our wives and get away with
Have
it.
you ever looked at your little odometer or whatever this thing is on your car and it says miles per gallon, average miles per gallon, and when you slow down, you're getting like 12 miles a
Well,
gallon.
we got to 180 miles
You get
per
up
gallon.
to 60 miles per hour, 70 miles per hour, you're getting about 30 miles per gallon.
You know what this is reminding
Did
me
that
of?
get you drunk?
Jimmy Carter. This reminds me of Jimmy Carter.
But you
And
do.
it's having
You
sort
get
of a
more mileage
soporific
from
effect. I mean, not completely, like his speech cadence did, you know. I was all for him. I'd listen to him, and I'd try and listen to what he was saying, but I couldn't get past 3 or 4 sentences before it ceased to become English anymore. I couldn't. I know it's not interesting, but I said it anyway. So if you were the type of host I expect of you, you would make it all right that I just said something that was of absolutely no interest.
Well, you're the one who's plugging your
Jay
record.
would.
Yeah.
I'm not plugging this shit. I don't have to plug it. Oh, I'm sorry.
And you think you had trouble with Howard Stern tonight? All right, we have to take a break.
A break? It's cable! There's no break in cable!
Okay, let's get into some local California politics, because we're new out here, so I really want to get into this being a political show. And look who was on the front page of our own Los Angeles Times yesterday, Doris. And by the way, you know what? Newspapers, when they print in color, lose credibility to me. Does anybody...
Why?
Because it's not a cartoon, it's supposed to be news. I mean, if I have to look at red to get interested in the news, it's wrong. Anyway, that's not the subject. Doris, you landed on the front page. You are, for the folks out there and the rest of the country who don't know, you were the first California Speaker of the Assembly, right here?
No, the first California woman Speaker of the Assembly.
Right, that's what I meant. Okay.
We've been a state since 1850 here. We've been a state since 1850.
And you've seen most of it. But
Yeah, I have.
Thank you.
now, my question to you is, I think from what I've read about this, and I don't know everything about it, is that you played political hardball like everybody else, and then when you got canned, as you did yesterday,
It was a proud moment.
it was a proud moment. You said, and let me quote this, because I don't want to think it's coming out of my mouth. You said, "Do I let a group of power-mongering men with short penises tell me what to do?" Now,
I vote that she doesn't. I vote that she doesn't. Yeah.
I cannot speak for the men with short penises, but
Well, I think I can.
I think I can too, with some confidence.
That was actually an intellectual statement.
but isn't this a case of convenient feminism? Isn't this a case of crying feminism, crying the sexist thing when it's your turn, when you're actually playing hardball politics like everybody else until you got your ass canned?
Well, is this a case of feminists crying because they played hardball? You know, I fought back all the way, but it's more like a gangbang. You know, I had...
Why the need to put it in necessarily sexual terms?
Yes.
I mean, unless those sexual things actually happen, you know what I'm saying? It would be a crime. I mean, if a man walked in and said, as they used to do, but hopefully no longer do because they get canned, a bunch of flat-chested broads or but whatever you want to say, I mean, why the need? Why can't they just be power-hungry morons or idiots? Where does the short penis or the gangbang
Well,
reference? I mean, don't you feel you are demeaning women who perhaps were attacked or were raped or the physicality of that crime?
Well, no,
by that
women weren't
statement?
mentioned, actually. But I can tell you that, let's dissect that statement.
Go ahead.
If you're not a power-mongering man, first of all, in that category, the second category of the small penis does not apply. But if you are a power-mongering man, then the second, and why? Because the statement is kind of a verbal shorthand. But basically what it's saying is that men who are so hungry for power cannot handle women who are in power.
So you're saying,
because it makes them feel less of a man.
so you're saying as a...
No, but don't. I see power-hungry male, female. It doesn't make any difference. I've seen it on both sides of the equation. I mean, I've seen in show business. I don't know. Well, I don't know if there's more. On my show, the executive producer is a woman, the director is a woman, the associate producer is a woman, the stage manager is a woman, and everybody.
And all
male,
of them
female.
have short penises.
Yes.
All of those women.
But I mean,
on his
why
show.
the need?
Yeah.
Why the need to put it in a sexual term when there is no sexuality implied?
Also, you're implying that every man who hungers for power is sexually lacking. Isn't that what you...
Only
Well, then how do
if
you-
they're afraid of women who are in power.
Churchill had a... Am I right?
Big brand.
They just named a missile after him. Clinton.
He had a brandy bottle you couldn't believe. Yeah.
I think there are men with large penises who are afraid of women. I think it's something you probably said when you were angry, and now you're having to defend it, the last clause in that phrase, for the rest of your life.
Well, you know,
So I think
I'm
you know,
actually,
when
you
things
know,
get in
I've
the
had
paper,
to apologize for it,
Yeah.
so I'd be politically correct. But I can tell you that I'm not sorry. I meant what I said.
no, because they really wronged you. But
I don't have to be politically
that's hitting
correct.
below the belt. Well,
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's not a matter of being politically correct. It's a matter of just being, would you be taken more seriously as someone who was wronged in politics by a group of people? You were wronged by a group of people. By putting it on sexual terms, you then sink to the level that they do.
Well, there's no question that you're right about that. I think anytime you go down into the gutter, I'm not as good in the gutter as they are. And you're quite right.
No, no,
I
what
think
I'm saying-
Oh, I
anytime
think you sell
go
yourself
down
short,
into the
Doris. I
gutter-
think you're plenty good in the
Yeah,
gutter.
you're right.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that by them not coming back at you with a sexual retort or a sexual comment in the first
They said
place.
the first thing I'm going to
Yeah.
do is my hair. And then they said that I eat my young. This was the second day after I became speaker. And then they said that I was Willie Brown in drag. And then they said I was a puppet of Willie Brown. And that Willie
That's
Brown
not
was
sexist.
trying
That's not sexist.
was trying to fix
Boy, and they
his
said when we came out to
speakership
California,
with an
we'd lose
Allen.
the edge.
Yeah,
Huh?
that's
They
right.
said
with
all
an
the...
Allen winch. And because my name
what?
being
What was
Allen,
it?
with an Allen winch.
Winch.
Wrench.
Yes.
oh,
Oh, I get
I
it.
got one in my workshop.
So,
right, so
you
what
know,
you're
the
saying
name calling has been pretty phenomenal. And that, you know, it was not something. I've been in politics 20 years. And that's the first thing that might even be taken. Well, to me,
Yeah.
penis is a part of the anatomy. So I don't see
Small
that.
part.
To me, the penis is a small part of the anatomy. But I can only tell you that. But I can only tell you that basically at the time it was said it was an exasperation.
Okay.
And I did do verbal shorthand. I did mean that men who are looking and power mongering can't handle women in power feel less a man.
Hitler had one testicle. That's all I'm going to say. We have to take a break.
Got a problem with any of this? Well, write to us at 514 West 57th Street, New York, New York, 10019. Or send us email at pi@cis.compuserve.com.
Okay, let's get on to this. Randy, I love this idea for an album, Faust. For those of you who missed Comp Lit in school, Faust is the story of a man who sells his soul to the devil. Let me just ask
Based
quickly.
on the classic comic book.
The classic comic book. Do you believe in the devil?
No.
No.
You don't either?
No.
Jay?
No, not a guy with horns on a little can
Yeah.
of deviled ham, no.
I believe in an evil force.
You do?
An evil force, sure. A force that tells you not to do something you should do, like
Cable.
simple things. Well, but I'm thinking
I was
more
going
of
to say
things
Warner Brothers.
declining your wish to do something good, talking you out of it.
But
or
but I mean, the devil is always seen as a man. I mean,
He's
what if
personified, yeah.
who
the
tempts?
devil could be a woman? Are you suggesting that?
No, you're
Oh, okay.
correct. But I
I'm not-
mean, what if there was a man who showed up with, say, a $10 million check
Right.
at some poor bus driver's home, and then that man went out and spent it on hookers and gambling
No.
and the Greyhound races?
Yeah.
That man would be the devil,
No.
would he not?
The man who's no. A man shows up with a $10 check in front of a man's house, and in front of him, he tears up the check. That's a devil.
Oh, I see.
That's a bad guy.
Well, who do you think is if there was a devil on earth now, who would it be?
It wouldn't be one person, I don't think. I mean,
Oh, I think
It's
there
a
would
force.
Do you really?
be. Yes?
No, I don't
I
think
can't
no.
wait to hear who
I
you
think
think it is.
What about Johnny Cochran? He's
not sure.
Johnny
slick.
Cochran.
He's charming. He can make you believe anything, and he's evil.
He's not evil.
Why is he evil?
He's a defense
Well, he got a
lawyer.
murderer off, didn't he, Jay? Or
No,
the dancing
he
Ito's
proved
just a
beyond the jury. No, but if O.J. is not innocent. It was beyond a reasonable doubt. The jury did not buy the story. What you're saying is you have a legal system that has worked for white people one way all along. A black guy comes along, very cleverly manipulates it the same way, and everybody gets all upset.
Well, it's not a matter of black and white.
No, the whole point is that Cochran's concern, his sole concern, one person has to be for the defendant. One person in the world. If he's murdered 50 children, I can't think of anything worse, but I mean, if he's done worse, well, I can. But that one guy is for him, and he's supposed to get him off. And whatever he does to get him off, I think is legitimate.
Doesn't make him evil.
I didn't
hell
see
no.
anybody calling the defense that got the 2 policemen off that beat up Rodney King initially. Why aren't they the devil? Same thing. Same devil. The devil is.
Well, maybe they are the devil then.
Well, the devil is. You know,
But they're just not as good as Johnny. Because with Johnny, I liked him and I believed him, and I know he was full of it.
Evil flourishes when good men do nothing. There is no individual devil. The devil or women. When you turn on the television and you see a demagogue and you see people flocking towards it. That, to me, is the epitome.
There's no
of
question there
So in other words, the
is-
person who's winning in the ratings race
There's no question
would
there
be
is
the devil
good
at any
and
given
evil,
moment.
and good versus evil. And I can tell you for certain, if you want to ever see good versus evil, go into politics.
I will, but I have to take a break.
Bill Maher for president. This show isn't long enough.
I know. Okay, I just have enough time to thank my guests. I don't even have time to name them. Tune in tomorrow. We'll have Alex Trebek, Chris Cox, Perry Gopin, and Slash. Good night.